myth busting on why people don't use things like career coaches, like me and my team. So I think there are a few reasons why people maybe are a little bit reticent about using a coach. Maybe they don't know what that is. In the sectors we work in emergency services, education, military, it's not such a common thing as it is elsewhere. So just to explain a few reasons why I think you should reconsider some of these points. First one is always, why can't I just do it myself? And I get that. And there are people out there, I'm sure, who could write themselves a really good CV, build their own LinkedIn profile, work out how to interview really well, build their own connections, transfer their own skills into another world, and make all that journey happen on their own. I did that. I had to do that because there was no one like me now to help me do it. What I would say is that it's very, very rare, I think, that anyone makes that happen on their own, whether they get support from a whole different range of sources. Also, I can guarantee you my own journey transition from the police to the corporate world would have been a lot faster, a lot more painless, and a lot better all round if I'd had someone to tell me what I was doing rather than make all the mistakes through trial and error. So that's one element of it. Like anything else, it's a professional service. I could try to fix my own car, fix my own house, do all kinds of things, but I'm not a specialist in any of those things. Eventually, through enough YouTube tutorials and trial and error, I would probably have something that looked like a functioning car or house. But actually, why would I not go to someone who'd been doing it all day, every day, had all the qualifications, all the experience, and could make it not only look better, but save me a whole load of stress along the way. So I think, like anything else, recognize the importance of a specialist. Coaching specifically, what I would say to that is Roger Federer is excellent at tennis, Tiger Woods is excellent at golf, and any number of other examples. They all have more than one coach. So that person is not there to suddenly teach Tiger Woods how to play golf because he knows that and he was better at 3 than I'll ever be. A coach is there to be a reflection, to guide him, to hold him accountable, to point out things that maybe he can't see himself, and just to be an extra tool in his toolbox and to basically harness the skill he's got and maximize the impact of that. And that's what we can do. It's not about saying you don't have the skills or you don't have the talents. Actually, 99 times out of 100, with our audience in emergency services, you have all the abilities. You have a great set of skills, value, experience. My job is to help you realize that, draw that out, and show you where that can take you so that you're not stuck thinking, well, I'm really good at being the area car driver, so therefore all I can do is go and be a driver. If you want to do that, of course you can, but that's not all there is, and that's the value of coaching as well. So don't feel you have to do it yourself. Next bit that comes always from that, okay, that's fascinating, Tom, but it doesn't come for free. No, it doesn't. And I think one of the other lessons that I'm not going to sugarcoat from this process is things don't come for free in any walk of life. It's an investment. Invest in yourself and get a return on investment, often with our kind of thing. And I can give you any number of success stories that point to this. You can be talking about investing in the region of a couple of £100 or so to get back a massive financial return on that. It might be a job that pays you 10 grand a year more, double your salary, lots of other things, or the intangible return on investment of, pick your kids up from school every day, not have to work Christmas and New Year every year, be valued in what you do something that aligns to your purpose. So, see it as an investment. People go to the gym and they understand that if they want to get in the shape they want to get into, you have to invest your membership fee, but also your effort and your willingness and your dedication, and you get back a lot more than that. And that's exactly the same concept. So just because you might have existed in an environment like policing, like the emergency services, like the military, where personal development, investment in yourself is not something that's traditionally commonplace, and it's a massive frustration to me day in, day out that the vast majority, barring a few very good exceptions, of organisations don't invest in their people and they don't understand the return they could get on that investment either. But sometimes you have to be the one that says, okay, I'm going to make my own path and I'm going to go out, I'm going to find some external help, I'm going to find people who've done it, who know what they're doing, who've got the qualifications, the background, the credibility, and in our case, do it because we genuinely care and want to see you succeed. Trust me, if I was just doing this for the money, I wouldn't be doing this. So, do your research, of course. And that brings on to the next point. People say it's not the right time. I'll do it, after Christmas. I'll do it after Easter. I'll do it in the summer. I'll do it when my kid's a bit older. And of course, you've got to respect and value and work with your life and your own parameters, and you've got to understand those. So I'm never going to try and force somebody to do something that isn't the right time. But on the flip side of that, what I would say to you is there is no such thing as the right time to move. It will never happen. If you sit around waiting for the right time to change your career, start a business, move to a different part of the country, you'll be waiting your whole life, because no one is ever going to come up to you one day and go, by the way, Tom, today is the exact right time to do that. It's going to work out perfectly and there's no risk attached. That will not happen. Every success story in every field that's ever happened to do with any kind of transition or change has involved a little bit of a leap of faith and a jump. Of course, you can prepare, you can research, you can plan, you can do as much as you can to make that leap as sure and as successful as possible and the softest landing possible. But every now and then you just have to back yourself and go for it. Get as much help as you can, get as much support as you can, prepare, and you're all good at doing that because you plan things and you work with uncertainty, but you've got to go for it. So those are the three key things that people come to us and say, it's not the right time, can't I do it myself, and I don't want to invest. And I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news on a lot of those, but to push back on you on those, there comes a point where you have to. And, unfortunately, lots of people in all the sectors we're talking about are Olympic level cynics and moaners, and that's fine, I've been there too. But you can be one of the people who sits in the corner and says, nah, that'll never work out. Or you can be one of the people who tries, and you might just succeed. And even if you don't, you try again. If something doesn't work out, you do something else. And guarantee you, across any field, the people who make the successful moves are the ones who put themselves out there and go for it. Nothing wrong with staying. I'm not saying that. This is aimed at people who are thinking about, I definitely know I want to go and get into that point, but I'm finding reasons not to. Stop finding reasons not to. Start finding some reasons why you should and why it should work. If you come to me or my team, we're not going to convince you against your will or force you or put any pressure on. We'll have an honest conversation. And if I think you shouldn't go for a particular job, or I think you should stay another month or another 6 months, I'll tell you that. Because that's what we're about. And I know what it's like to not know where to turn. And I wish I'd had that advice. So what I'm saying to you is open your mind a little bit, back yourself, go for it, ask for the right help, and anything's possible.